Final Lap is fairly obscure in the US. There is a pretty small distribution of the arcade cabinet, and a TurboGrafx 16 port. In Japan, however, Final Lap was huge. It starts with that arcade game. It looks decent enough as a successor to Namco's Pole Position, but the magic was in the cabinets. Because Final Lap was the first game that networked cabinets together and let up to 8 players race head-to-head. How do you bring something like that home? Well, you create a split-screen view and let 2 players race simultaneously. The actual racing in Final Lap, I think, is just okay. We've seen better on the Famicom. But being able to race head-to-head was a revolution. They had some talent behind that technical wizardry. The Famicom port is the very first game by Arc System Works. Believe it or not, they actually make a fighting game on the Famicom too. Final Lap pits you in a head-to-head match against one other driver on 8 different F1 courses. You get a chance to customize your machine before you start the race, adding points to the engine, brakes, tires, and nitro. Similar to other racing games of this style, don't bother upgrading your brakes. You get a much greater benefit by increasing your tires. 3 points in tires will let you go around a tight hairpin at top speed. If you braked for that turn, you're going to lose a lot of time. The nitro is how much boost you have. And that's useful, just not as good as putting points into the tires and engine. As you race, you hold down the A button to accelerate and hit the B button to brake. There's no gear shifting in Final Lap. Pressing up fires off your nitro. There's not a lot of strategy to the racing here. The tracks are generally pretty forgiving, though I did find the China track to be a bit winding. It's the 4th track in the single player mode. In single player, if you're in match mode, you're always racing against a rival. You have to beat them in order to go on to the next race. If you lose to them, you do get one more try, but lose again and it's game over. If you can beat the best lap time, then you get an additional point to apply to your vehicle's stats. There's also test mode where you can select any of the 8 tracks, though you're not racing against a rival there. Finally, there's the multiplayer options, including a tournament where you can have up to 8 players compete. Final Lap is pretty simple, and so it's not really the best racing game for the Famicom. For raw speed, I'd rather play Highway Star, and if I was playing a game where I'm upgrading my vehicle, I'd rather play Taito Grand Prix. But those multiplayer options are really nice. It's a lot more fun when you're blocking your friend from passing you than just some random computer player. I can see why people were so enthusiastic about it when it was released.